So in this video, I'm going to talk about electron configuration and reactivity. So I will first talk about the reference yellow paper, like reference paper, and then I will talk about the worksheet question 1 and question 2. Now, the reference paper covers all the possibility of the 8 questions on the worksheet. So this is just like a template, but it covers every possibility. So let's say question 1, which one is more reactive? Okay, now sometimes the question asks you like more reactive. Okay, so make sure that I circle more reactive. Now why I need to circle more reactive? If you go to the bottom, sometimes the question is asked you what is less reactive. So you have to be really careful about which class notes, like which one are you looking for. You don't want to mess up and answer the wrong thing. Okay, now we want to use step A is we want to use the outer electron configuration and then to compare the answer. And then you want to use the reactivity trend to double check the answer. Now, first of all, what does that mean by outer electron configuration? Outer electron configuration is you take the shorthand electron configuration and minus the noble gas. So for example, if I have Na, my shorthand is Ne3S1, and if I have N, my shorthand is He2S2 2P3. That's a shorthand. So what is outer is we forget the noble gas. We take away the noble gas. It's the ending. So either we'll have like NS if you only have SAM, or you have NS and P, okay? And we have Peter. Now, this worksheet, we only do element 1 through 20, so you will not see the D block, all right? Now, first of all, you want to compare the F and Cl. You write down the atomic number and write down the outer electron configuration. And then you have 5 factors that you have to list them out and compare. The 5 factors are period, group, how many valence electron need to gain or need to lose, and how many electrons you want to lose and how many electrons you want to gain. So you have to list out these 5 factors. And then there are 4 steps, we so-called 4 statements. You need to know how to list them out in your own word and in a short and precise way, okay? Because on the test, I will ask you, what are the 4 statements you have to do for this worksheet? You have to give me your own answer, short but precise. You don't want to write that long. So step 1 is you want to list out what these elements are in similar in these 5 factors and using the word both. So, okay, we compare and then we can say both F and Cl, they are in group 17. They have 7 valence electron and they want to gain 1 electron. This is what they have in similar. And then step 2 is we want to list out what they have in different using the word but. Now, but what happened? But F is on period 2 and the Cl is on period 3. That's how they differ. And then step 3, you want to tell which one is more or less easier to gain or lose electron. Now, how do you know you want to use more or less easier? Is you look up the question. If the question say more reactive, then you use more easier. If the question use less reactive, then you want to use less easier. So you will not answer the wrong thing. So you follow the question. Okay, and then to gain electron or to lose electron based on the factor, okay, and give me the reason for both. So if you look up here, I'm looking for the element is easier to gain electron because they both want to gain electron. So F is in period 2, Cl is period 3. Now which one is more easier to gain electron? It's obvious, it's F. Why? Because F is closer to the nucleus than the Cl. Cl is further from nucleus. So you want to write the statement, F, which is closer to the nucleus, is more easier to gain electron than Cl, which is further from nucleus. And then step 4 is based on this statement, you want to tell which one is more or which one is less reactive, follow what the question. Now, because you say F is more easier, then you can say F is more reactive than Cl. Now, in case if you mess up this wrong, you can still have another way to save you, which is use the trend to double check. Now, because they are both nonmetals, we use the nonmetal reactivity. And because nonmetal is on the right-hand side, so we say that the big arrow is on the right-hand side. If they are metals, okay, you use the metal reactivity. Oh, metal is on the left-hand side, and that's why the bigger arrow is on the left-hand side. That's how I distinguish the 2 trends. Okay, so you write down the non-metal trend, make sure small and big with the arrow, and I forgot, make sure that you have no group 18, okay, and then you put the F and the Cl, And because you're looking for more reactive, now more reactive, when we see the word more, that means we start with the big one first, and then small one next, and then the mouth, the crocodile mouth facing to the back. Okay? If on the other hand, if the question asks you less reactive, then you want to start with the smaller one first, and then bigger one next, and then the mouth facing to the back. So we go back here, we write down, okay, more reactive, that means the big first, small next with the mouth. And then you look at which element is near to the big side. Oh, F is near to the big side, and Cl is near to the S side. And then you put the mouth on, and then you answer this. This can be translated into F is bigger than Cl, or F is more reactive than Cl. So, okay, F is more reactive than Cl. These two are matching. So then we can put a check mark. That means your answer is correct. If either one of them doesn't match with each other, you know something wrong. Okay. Now on the bottom, this question is asked to less reactive. That's why we want to start with the S first. And the reason thing here, because they are on the same period, they have different group number, different valence electron, they will lose electron differently. So the reason here, you can say we lose electron, like this lose 3 electrons, this is lose 1 electron, or sometimes you gain 1 electron, gain 2 electrons. This is another kind of reason. Okay? Now we can jump to the worksheet. So I'm going to do question 1 and 2. All right? Now question 1 is, which one is more reactive? So we first of all circle which one is more reactive. So Li and K. So we write down the Li, the atomic number is 3. Okay, atomic number is 3. Let me see. Okay, the atomic number is 3, and then the outer is like we take away the noble gas from the shorthand. So the outer is 2s1, and then period will be 2. Group is 1. So it has 1 valence electron and need to lose, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. But we have 5 factors leads to lose 1 electron. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factors. And then the K is the atomic number 19. So then the outer is 4s1. So the period is 4. Group is 1 valence electron, and you need to lose also 1 electron. Next, we gotta use the 4 statements. So step 1, you want to use the word both. They tell me like what are they similar. So both Li and K, so what they have the same? They have the same group number. It's a group 1. They both are in group 1. They both have 1 valence electron, and they also need to lose 1 electron. So we list it out. Both Li and K are in group 1, have 1 valence electron, and need to lose 1 electron. Okay? And then the statement 2, blue pen, we're gonna use the word but. Okay, we underline the word both here, and we underline the word but. Okay, what are they different? But what's the difference? Li is in period 2 and K is in period 4. So Li is in period 2, K is in period 4. That's how they're different. And then you want to ask yourself, now because more reactive, that means I'm looking for more easier. More easier to do what? More easier to lose electron. Now which one's more easier to lose electron? Now in the class, almost like everybody, like almost every class has some people say that, oh, Li is more easier to lose electron because Li is closer to the nucleus. But you want to think, oh, Li is closer to the nucleus. Yes, it's closer to the nucleus because period 2. Now you're closer to the nucleus. Does it make you more easier to lose electron? Of course, the answer is no. You're closer to me. I hold you tightly. How can I lose you easily? So the answer is not Li. Li is not easier to lose electron. But K is more easier to lose electron because K is further from nucleus and Li is closer to nucleus. So you have to list out the reason, and you use the reason to think about, hey, does the reason make sense to me to answer the question? Not always the first choice is the answer. You have to think, use the reason, okay? So step 3. Okay, so again, the answer is not Li, okay? The answer is K. Why? Because K is further from nucleus. Okay, K is further from nucleus. We gotta highlight this. K is further from nucleus. Okay, then is more easier. So we underline more easier. More easy to do what? More easy to lose electron than Li, which is closer to nucleus. And we highlight the reason. Now, after you read this sentence, I strongly recommend you to reread the whole thing. This is the statement that most people mess up. Does it make sense to you? Oh, K is further from the nucleus, so then I'm easier to lose electron than the Li, because Li is closer to the nucleus, I can hold him tightly. You always read the statement 3 to make sure that the two make the right choice. Statement 3 is the most important, the one with the reason. This reason makes sense to you. If you choose the wrong one, let's say Li closer to the nucleus is more easy to lose electron, that means you did not read the statement carefully. Read this statement. K further away from the nucleus is more easy to lose because you are further away. Okay? And then step 4, we can follow through. Because K is more easier to lose electron than Li, we can say K is more reactive than Li. And we underline more reactive. So we follow through more reactive, more easier. Now let's say, for example, you screw up here. You still have a way to say, still have the way to check the answer is the trend. Now, because they are metal, all right, we're using metal reactivity. Now the metal is on the left-hand side. That means you see the basic trend is always like that, right? So because the metal is on the left-hand side, that means the big arrow is on the left-hand side. Okay, and the small arrow is here. And we find out that the Li is on the top of K. All right. Now, because the question asks you more reactive, right? More reactive. So we copy more reactive. Now, more reactive, that means, what does I mean by more reactive? That means I want the big one first. More reactive, big one first. And then small one next. And the big, open the mouth over there. Okay, I'm going to circle this. Okay, more, that means I'm going to use the bigger one first. Okay, now we can double check. Okay, which element is near the big side? Oh, near the big side is K. And then the Li is near the small side. And then we follow through the mouth. Okay, now this is actually reading K is bigger than Li, or K is more reactive than Li, which is matched with here. K is more reactive than Li. So then you know that your answer is matching, your choice is correct. Give a check mark. If this doesn't match with here, but you're sure that you draw the trend right, then he means it is wrong. So either one is wrong if it doesn't match. Okay. Now question 2 is, which one is less reactive? Less reactive, right? Make sure that you did not answer the wrong thing. N and O. So we first write down the N, the atomic number, which is 7. So then the outer is 2s2, 2p3. That means period 2, group 15, 5 valence electron, and need to, this time, gain 3 electron. Period 2, group 15, 5 valence electron, need to gain 3 electron. And then O is atomic number 8. So then the outer is 2s2, 2p4. So it's period 2, group 16, 6 valence electron need to gain 2 electrons. Okay, so step 1, we want to talk about what do they have in both. So they both, okay, they both in period 2. They both need to gain electron. I did not say that they both need to gain the same number of electron. I say they both need to gain electron because gain and electron is 2 separate factors. If you look up here, gain and electron are 2 separate factors. They can both gain the same thing. They can both need to lose. They can both need to lose. They can both need to gain. But the electron could be different. So factor 4 and factor 5 are 2 separate things. Even though the electrons are not the same, but number 4 factor is the same, you still have to list it up. Okay? So they both N and O are in period 2 and need to gain electron. Okay? Because the factor 4 is the same. Now, step 2, but now this time the sentence is a little longer. If you want to separate into 2 separate lines, one top, one on the bottom, it's fine because the sentence is long. Now what are they different? N is on group 15, has 5 valence electron and need to gain 3 electron. So this sentence is already one sentence, so you can put it on the top. And oxygen is in group 16, has 6 valence electron, need to gain 2 electron. So you can put in 2 separate sentences. But N is in group 15, has 5 valence electron and need to gain 3 electron. Okay, it's too long. We can switch to the next line. O is in group 16, has 6 valence electron and need to gain 2 electron. Okay, so then now step 3, you have to be really careful. Step 3 is the sentence that always messed up. Step 3, they ask you less reactive. Less reactive, that means I'm looking for less easier. Less easy to do what? Less easier to gain electron. Okay, less easier to gain electron. Now what is the difference? The difference is nitrogen needs to gain 3 electrons, but oxygen needs to gain 2 electrons. Which one is less easier to gain electron? Is of course is nitrogen. Why? Because nitrogen needs to gain 3 electrons, which take more work. And oxygen only needs to gain 2, which is less work. So you have to think about the reason, write the sentence, and you ask yourself, does the sentence with the reason make sense to me? Reread the statement number 3, okay? So, N, which is gain 3 electron, okay, is less easier, underline, to gain electron, underline, than O, which is gain 2 electron. Okay, so we underline less easier and to gain electron, and we highlight the reason nitrogen is gain 3 and oxygen is gain 2. And you always go back to read the sentence 3. Oh, and gain 3 electron. Is it less easier to gain electron? Yes, because he needs to gain 3. You always read the sentence number 3 after you include the reason and the statement. Does it make sense to me? All right, and then step 4, we can follow through. Because you say N is less easier to gain electron than O, you can say N is less reactive than O. And underline that. Now, let's say you mess this up. You still have a second way to double check is using the trend. Now, because this is non-metal, we use non-metal reactivity. Okay, the non-metal is on the right-hand side. And the basic trend is always like that, right? This is the basic trend. Now, because non-metal is on the right-hand side, that means my right-hand side will have the big arrow and then the small arrow here. Now, one thing that I forgot in the reference is the non-metal, make sure that you write down no group 18. Okay? And then the N and the O is listed on here. Now, we follow through. The questions say less reactive, so we write less reactive. Now, what does that mean by last reactive? Last reactive, that means we want to start with the small one. Last reactive, start with small one, and then the big one next. And then the mouth always open to the big one. Okay, so last reactive, we always start with the small one first. And then be careful with the mouth, right? And we can follow through. Now, which one is near the small side? The N is near the small side, right? I'm sorry. The N is near the small side. And then the O is near the big side. Okay, so how do you read this? This meaning N is less than O, or N is less reactive than oxygen, which is match here. N is less reactive than oxygen. That means I know that I did this correctly. Okay, I know that this is correctly. Give a check mark. Okay, if either one doesn't match, you know something wrong.